I'm Margie and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make buttercream icing. I've made a cake that in another video I'm going to show you how to ice, but in this video I'm just going to show you how to make the icing, and we're going to start with powdered sugar, milk, vanilla, and real butter. This is my favorite kind of icing. Now people don't really make icing with real butter as much. They have the more bakery style icing, which is made with shortening, and I'm used to this. I was brought up on buttercream icing, and really I enjoy this more than anything. This buttercream recipe has about 4 cups of powdered sugar, and you need to sift that, and ½ a cup of butter, real butter, and 3 tablespoons of milk, which I'm going to measure from here. You really can use cream, any kind of milk you really want. Cream will make it maybe a little bit smoother because there's less water in it. And then 2 teaspoons of vanilla. So we'll start by measuring our powdered sugar. I just do it by the dipping method and just gently. I don't pack it down, but I just scrape it off. Do one more. I'm going to do another ½ a cup. I'll do another whole cup. Just have a little extra in case I need it. Sift it out because you don't want to have little lumps in your icing. So we've measured that out, and now we're going to sift it. It's a little too much, really, for one sifter, so I had to measure it first. Don't pay attention to my mess. I don't do anything with those little lumps. I just leave them in here. I don't use them. When you sift this out, it gets all those little... You don't really know what's in there. There could be it could be even little pebbles. You never know. I have found some pebbles in the past. Okay, so now we have the powdered sugar ready. So I'm going to use 1 stick of butter, right into the mixer, and then we're going to turn the mixer on low and let that just get started. That's ½ a cup of butter. And we'll slowly add our powdered sugar to that. And it will start to come together. I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of milk here. And I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And then we'll start adding our sugar, and we can always add a little more sugar if it's too soft. This is going to be for a cake. So we don't want it too soft because we don't want it to fall off the side of the cake. Now I could have used clear vanilla, which isn't real vanilla, so I'd rather not do that. But if you want your icing to be a little whiter, but you've already used butter, if you really want it white, then you have to use shortening, which is something I really don't want to do. So I figure if it's not going to be white, it might as well really look like what it's supposed to look like, and taste like what it's supposed to taste like. Okay, well that's the extra cup in there actually, and probably even a little less. So we'll go ahead and beat this for a little bit. So it's nice and smooth. I'm going to stop it and going to scrape down the sides a little. I'm going to let it be a little more, because I want it to be a little fluffy, so I'm going to let it go. Have you ever seen the difference between sort of lightly beaten butter and more, you know, when you beat it a little longer, it gets a little lighter in color and a little more fluffy? I'm going to do that with this icing. So we'll be back in probably 1 second. Now I added another ½ a cup of powdered sugar to this because when after beating it for a couple of minutes, I just went and I felt the icing to see how it looked. You see how I want that to hold up a little better on the cake, so I added a little more powdered sugar. You just want to test it. It should kind of look like that. You should be able to get those designs. Can you see that? Now I made a second recipe. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add the first recipe back to it. And I'm going to just beat them together so they really are the same consistency. And this is where one of these little things really comes in handy. I could probably take the whole thing out of the bowl in one shot. Pretty much. So I'll beat that a little more. And we can always add powdered sugar. Be sure that you sift it first. If you know that you want to have 2 recipes of buttercream, and you can always put this in the freezer. And I can also add a little bit more powdered sugar if I want to make a better decorating icing to make roses. It would be a little bit too soft to make flowers with the buttercream you'd use on a cake. But this will freeze beautifully and will last months. Just do it in like a Tupperware container, something with a nice tight fitting lid. When you go to store this icing, even if you're going to use it maybe in a ½ hour or so, what you want to cover it with saran wrap, but also press down on the saran wrap so you fill in any little air spaces all the way around. Okay, and then if it's glass, really seal it well. And then it will stay for a while without getting a hard top on it. And of course, this icing can be rebeaten before you use it. So I hope that whatever cake you make with this buttercream icing looks beautiful and you have a wonderful occasion for your birthday or holiday or a special event. And I'll be back soon with another video.